I work at a wildlife sanctuary near Sydney. An American family arrived wearing full safari, gear khaki, everything. Pith helmets, those vests with 100 pockets. The dad announced, "We're ready for the Outback experience." I said, "This is a suburban wildlife park. The Outback is 2,000 kilometers away." He looked at his family. "See? Already starting with the authentic experience?" His wife nodded seriously. He asked where the kangaroos were. I pointed to the enclosure 20 meters away. He squinted through binoculars. "Are those animatronic?" I assured him they were real. He wasn't convinced. "They're not hopping," I explained. "Kangaroos don't hop constantly. That's false advertising. Every documentary shows them hopping, and they're resting. We paid for authentic Australian wildlife, not lazy props." He demanded a refund for defective kangaroos. My manager came over, and if you appreciate this level of actual on-the-ground insanity I deal with, stick around. This channel is where the real stories live. Most travelers only ever hear the polished version. You're getting the unfiltered layer. If that distinction matters to you, subscribe. He watched the kangaroos for 30 seconds. One hopped twice. The American gasped. There it is. Finally doing their job. At the gift shop, a different American asked if our toy koalas were real fur. No, they're plush. So, they're fake koalas? They're toys. But you're selling fake Australian animals in Australia? She seemed genuinely concerned we were scamming tourists. Now, if you think that's where Australian confusion ends, let me introduce you to the stories that made me question American geography education. I'm a hotel receptionist in Melbourne. American guest checked in, said he'd always wanted to visit Australia. "Great, welcome." He asked what time the Sound of Music tour started. I was confused. He repeated slower. "The Sound of Music tours." "Sir, that's Austria." "No, I'm in Australia." I checked my ticket. "Yes, you're in Australia. The movie was filmed in Austria, Europe. That's impossible. Why would they film an American movie in Europe? It's about Austria. The movie's literally called The Sound of Music. That's about freedom. America." He pulled out his phone, typed aggressively, showed me results. "See? Salzburg. Yes, Salzburg, Austria. In Europe?" He zoomed in on a map, stared, zoomed out, stared harder. "These are two different places." "Correct. Since when?" And yes, this is the level of geographical chaos I document regularly. Most people never get to see this side of tourism because it slips through the cracks. If you want the kind of stories that tourists swear never happened, but absolutely did, you're in the right place. Subscribe so you don't miss the ones that never make it to the brochures. Since always, why do they have such similar names? I explained the etymology. He wasn't listening. "So there's no mountains here where they did the spinning scene. We have mountains, but not those mountains. This is incredibly misleading marketing." He asked to change his flight to the real location. I suggested contacting his airline. "Can I drive there from here?" "No, there's an ocean. Several oceans." "How long would that take?" "You'd need a plane." He looked betrayed. "My wife is going to kill me." He left a caller. I heard him through the lobby doors. "Honey, remember when I said Australia? Funny story, ... I'm a tour guide in Cairns. American couple booked a rainforest tour. The husband brought a massive hunting knife strapped to his belt. "Sir, you can't bring weapons." "It's not a weapon. It's for the Outback, going to a walking track. You never know what's out there. It's a marked trail." Other tourists are families with children. He refused to leave it in the vehicle. Compromise. He could keep it in his backpack, sealed. He agreed reluctantly. On the trail, he kept scanning the trees. "When do we see the crocodiles?" "We won't. Saltwater crocodiles are coastal, not rainforest. Crocodile Dundee had them everywhere." "That's a movie. Based on real Australia?" "Loosely." He seemed disappointed. He asked if I knew any authentic Aussie guys like Dundee. "I am Australian." "No, like real Outback people." With the hat and the accent, many Australians don't sound like that. That's exactly what someone from the city would say. I've lived here my entire life. Yeah, but have you wrestled a crocodile? No, and neither have most Australians. Exactly, not authentic. At lunch, he asked if we could go off trail, do it properly. Sir, that's illegal and dangerous. Danger is the point. Where's the adventure? The adventure is appreciating nature safely. His wife agreed with me. He muttered about sanitized tourism, posted a review later. Said the tours lacked genuine Australian wilderness experience. Recommended bringing your own knife. I work at a diving shop in Port Douglas. American customer wanted to dive the Great Barrier Reef. Perfect. We have trips daily. He asked, how far offshore is the reef? Depends on the site. Some are an hour by boat. He frowned. So it's not actually a barrier, it's a reef system. But it's called the Great Barrier Reef. Barriers are at the edge of things. I explained it stretches along the coast for over 2,000 kilometers. So it's like a wall? It's a coral ecosystem. But barrier means it blocks something. It was named by explorers. It's historically accurate. Sounds like false advertising. I thought it surrounded Australia. No, it's off the northeast coast. Does it at least go all the way around? No, that would be impossible. He asked if we could see it from shore. Parts, but diving shows you the real beauty. If I can't see it from the beach, how is it great? Great means large, not visible. I've seen pictures. It looks close to the beach. Those are shallow sections. The reef is massive. How massive? Over 300,000 square kilometers. His eyes glazed over. In American measurements, I converted. He whistled. That's bigger than Texas. No, Texas is much bigger. Now I know you're lying. You booked the dive trip anyway. Came back amazed. Said it was even better than advertised, despite the misleading name. I tipped in US dollars. Said to keep the change because Australian money looks fake anyway. I work at a Blue Mountains Tourist Information Center. American hiker came in, very concerned. Said he'd heard about drop bears. Needed advice on protection? I kept a straight face. Drop bears are a myth. We tell tourists as a joke. No, I read about them online. Multiple sources. Those are Australians joking. They had pictures. Safety warnings. He didn't believe me. Why would so many websites lie? It's a national prank. We've been doing it for decades. That's elaborate for a joke. We're committed. He pulled up a website. This looks official. It's satire. It has a governance-style logo. It's made by someone with design skills. He asked what we recommended for protection, just in case. There's nothing to protect against. They don't exist. But if they did, they don't. Hypothetically. I sighed. Vegemite behind the ears. He wrote it down. How much Vegemite? I was improvising. Dab. Should I bring some hiking? If it makes you feel safe. He bought 3 jars at the gift shop. Wore a bicycle helmet on the trail. Complained later that Vegemite attracted ants. Left a review warning others about inadequate drop. Bare information from staff. Included photos of himself in full protective gear. Other tourists asked if drop bears were real. The cycle continues. I manage a wildlife park on the Gold Coast. American family approached the ticket desk. Asked about koala rentals. We don't rent animals. Not for keeps. Just for the day. Like a pool floaty. Ma'am, they're living creatures. I saw online you can hold them. We offer supervised photo experiences. 15 minutes. Can we take one to the beach? Absolutely not. They're protected native animals. So they're like endangered? Vulnerable. We take conservation seriously. But I've seen pictures of people holding them. Controlled environments with trained staff. We're very responsible pet owners. This isn't pet ownership. Rental is different from ownership, her husband chimed in. How much to rent one overnight? They're not available for rent at any price. Everything has a price. Not wildlife. He tried negotiating. Offered $200, then $500, then $1,000. I called my supervisor. She explained wildlife laws. Heavy fines. Possible jail time. The wife looked offended. We weren't going to hurt it. Just wanted photos for Instagram. The law doesn't allow it. These laws seem un-Australian. I thought you were laid back. We're laid back about many things. Wildlife protection isn't one. They left disappointed. Posted on social media about aggressive Australian wildlife regulations. Said we refuse to participate in the tourism economy. I'm a lifeguard at Bondi Beach. American tourists marched up to the tower, demanded we close the beach. There was a shark sighting. Sir, that was 2 days ago. The shark left. How do you know it left? Drones, patrols, no further sightings. That's not good enough. You should guarantee no sharks. The ocean contains sharks. We can't guarantee anything. In America, we drain the area and check. Can't drain the ocean. Florida does it. Florida does not drain the ocean. They have protocols. So do we. We monitor constantly. I don't see any shark nets. Nets are controversial. They harm other marine life better than people dying. He wanted to speak to whoever's in charge of ocean safety. I radioed my supervisor. She explained our multi-layered approach. Surveillance, quick response, clear signage. He wasn't satisfied. What if I get bitten? We'd respond immediately. What's the response time? Under 5 minutes. That's too slow. I'd be dead. Statistically, shark attacks are extremely rare. Statistics don't help when you're being eaten. Swimming always has risks. Then put up better warnings. Our signs are comprehensive. He pointed at the flag system. Those little flags? I need flashing lights. Sirens. That would evacuate beaches daily for no reason. He didn't swim. Stood at the water's edge. Filmed the ocean for an hour. Posted a video warning Americans about Australia's casual attitude toward shark danger. Got millions of views. Half the comments were Australians explaining we know what we're doing. He responded to none of them last month. An American couple came to our sanctuary for the sunset tour. Near the end, the husband asked when we release the kangaroos into the wild. I explained, these are permanent residents. Injured, can't survive independently. He looked suspicious. So you're keeping them prisoner? We're providing medical care and safety. But Australia is their natural habitat. This is Australia. Yes, but they need protected environments. The whole country should be their environment. Predators exist. Cars exist. These kangaroos would die outside. Sounds like you're making excuses to keep tourist attractions. Sir, we're a non-profit sanctuary. That's what you'd say if you were running a kangaroo prison. His wife tried to shush him. He kept going. How do I report animal abuse in Australia? I gave him the Wildlife Authority's number. Explained they inspect us regularly. We exceed all standards. Standards set by the people running the system. Convenient. He took photos of our enclosures. Evidence of what? The kangaroo conspiracy? He called the Wildlife Authority. I heard his side. Yes, I'd like to report a facility holding kangaroos captive. What do you mean that's how sanctuaries work? No, I understand the concept, but they're just sitting there. Yes, I know injured animals need care. This seems like circular logic. You're all in on it, aren't you? They left. He posted a manifesto online about Big Sanctuary controlling Australia's wildlife narrative. Got 17 likes? 16 were Australians making fun of him. One was his mom saying she loved him. Working in Australian tourism teaches you that some people arrive with such fixed ideas about your country that reality becomes the disappointment. The Outback isn't everywhere. Crocodile Dundee isn't a documentary. Drop bears aren't real, no matter how many Vegemite jars you buy. But honestly, I love these stories. They remind me that Australia, even the regular suburban parts, still manages to surprise people. Usually not in the ways they expected if you've survived your own. Australian adventurer created chaos somewhere else while traveling, you know exactly what I mean. The world's a wild place when you leave home convinced you already understand it. And if you want clarity, comedy, and the kind of real-world travel intelligence most people never bother collecting. This is where you'll find it every single week. Subscribing isn't about helping the channel. It's about making sure you never miss the next breakdown of human logic versus actual reality.